everybody, and welcome to Bad Movie Brothers. I'm Eric.
I'm Chad.
Hey, we watch bad movies, and this week we watched Happy Together.
Now,
Yeah. Come right in with a hot take.
how have we never seen this movie before?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So let's get this out of the way real quick. Happy Together stars Patrick Dempsey and Helen Slater as a pair. They're in college and they're accidentally put into a dorm room together. A boy and a girl in a dorm room together. He's uptight. She's a free spirit.
You get it.
You know what movie I'm talking about.
You get it.
But yeah, how this is not a known movie.
Yeah, because it's like peak
Sort of beyond
80s.
me. It's peak 80s. It's college shenanigans.
When did you know? How did you know about this movie? When did you hear about it? Where did it come from?
This came.
Why isn't it more well known?
Well, I would argue it's not that well known because it's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I'll tell you. I can tell you this. Have you ever seen Can't Buy Me Love?
Yeah.
Or You Can't Buy Love?
No, I think you got it.
Yeah, the other Patrick Dempsey movie.
Oh.
I hadn't heard or seen that movie until like a year or two ago.
Well, they've remade that.
Okay, well, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So this is of a similar ilk, but yeah, I don't know. And I mean, Patrick Dempsey isn't anybody until Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
You know, and Helen Slater, who I love. See, this is the problem.
I'm not sure I know who she is.
She starred in Supergirl, the 80s movie version of Supergirl with Peter O'Toole.
Okay.
And The Legend of Billie Jean.
Now, you would think that this movie would be known, if nothing more,
Mm-hmm.
than the fact that there is a young Brad Pitt in this film.
Well, we're jumping right to this. So I'm watching this thing. The credits are rolling. I always like to look at the credits and see if a name's going to pop up.
A little harder for me when it's going real fast. But
sure. Because you watch double speed.
Oh, 1.5.
I'm sorry, 1.5. And you know, sometimes it'll be like, oh, Joe Flaherty's in this movie, like that.
We all do that, yeah.
Right, but about that good. Oh, Meg Foster. But Brad Pitt is automatically the most famous person
yes.
to have appeared in any Bad Movie Brothers movie.
Indeed.
And why, just the other day, I was kicking back, enjoying a rewatch of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh.
And thinking about what a fine performance it was from Mr. Pitt. And here he is, warming the bleachers in Happy Together.
This is where he really learned his craft.
From watching Patrick Dempsey cat around.
No, I think he probably was only there for a day.
Oh, I agree. And I wonder if he then wasn't like pulled to be in something else. Because his role is very much a other kid at school role.
He's in it in the first 5 minutes and then he's not in it.
Right. Like he shows up like a couple of times early on. And like you think, oh, he's going to be dating Helen Slater at some point.
Go back to sleep, kid.
Yeah.
And then, he just
gone.
Disappears. I don't know if he had to hot-foot it over to Thelma and Louise or what.
Too early.
If 12 Monkeys was calling his name.
Way too early.
I don't know if they were ready for him to meet Joe Black.
You're going the wrong way.
I don't know if he...
Come on.
I don't know if he was ready to be an Inglourious Bastard.
Yep. You got it.
But he had somewhere to be, that's for darn sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, and that, again, that sums up the movie for me. Because I'll tell you something, Chad.
Oh.
I loved the first half hour of this movie.
Okay. Where's the turning point?
Well, to me, the turning point very much is the half hour. she takes Patrick Dempsey to a convenience store to snack on gummy bears.
Right.
And this is the scene where Patrick Dempsey is starting to fall in love with the manic Helen Slater.
To say the least.
Listen, this is a big performance.
Yeah, she really puts in the time.
I'm just so tired of it! God, listen, I'm just so tired of being this way! I'm so tired of being phony and always keeping myself and trying all these crazy things to find out what I am! I feel like such a phony!
Hey, come on.
No!
Hey.
No!
All right. That was much better. Now, do you see how all of your attentions were drawn to her?
She does. And I'll tell you what, and I was super sold on it.
Well, so is this not
Mm-hmm.
the type of movie we would have watched 10 to 15 times in a basement in New Carlisle?
Mm-hmm. That makes it sound like we were abducted. We should point like
No, well, we kind of were.
we kind of were, but we were hanging out in the office of our family hardware store. Yeah, again, for the first half hour, yes. Because the first half hour of this movie is everything you want it to be in a movie about an uptight guy and a wacky gal who are mismatched roommates. The first half hour is pure heaven.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm memorizing a sonnet.
No, Never mind.
And there's a thing that happens. So like right around when she takes Patrick Dempsey out for their first night on the town, she sits down with him, and there's this great scene where she talks to him about how she wishes that he was a girl so that they could be better friends, so they could do more things together.
I just wanted to say I think it would be really swell if you were a girl.
Pardon me?
Well, then we could do more stuff together, and we'd never, ever have to worry about that other thing.
The other thing.
Sex?
Sex.
Yes. It ruins everything. That's why I wish you were a girl. Because I really do like you, Christopher. That's all I wanted to say.
And I loved that scene. And I thought it was such a sweet moment that I said, I really hope they don't fall in love then.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this movie is just, or at least Helen Slater, has just put the whole thing out on the table of let's be best friends. Or if the movie wanted to then have Patrick Dempsey turn into a girl for like the next hour, that
Right.
would and that's the movie. I'm fine with either of those things.
It was right there that I thought to myself, how was this not like a classic 80s sitcom that just went on and on with all the crazy shenanigans that they would get into episode after episode?
Right. And there's this great scene where she talks to him about that there's these two guys that she's dating sitcom style, where she's got two dates for the same night, but she can picture the weddings she would have with both of the guys.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it is that it's drawing Philip to me.
Philip?
Philip, the poet who I have a date with tomorrow night.
Is he published?
I don't know, but I just see the wedding, Maine, 4 o'clock in the morning. The sun is rising. There's birds. Dewey, dewey, dewey.
So what's the problem?
The problem is I have a date with Trevor tomorrow night. And I really like Trevor, too. I can see the wedding with him. Aspen on top of this snowy mountain. Snowy, snowy, beautiful little wreath. I mean, I like Philip and I like Trevor.
And that's what I want this whole movie to be. But unfortunately, not only does it pivot into they fall in love, and then the movie becomes real serious at about the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, too serious.
It gets real serious. And like that's the problem, because like the movie has set her up in this great way where she does, and it hints at this interior life that she has where she's a little bit emotionally damaged, and she's looking, and it seems like the love that she's looking for is not necessarily a romantic love, but a friend and a support system type love. But then the movie just kind of goes, yeah, but don't you think it's more important that Patrick Dempsey gets a girlfriend?
Right.
And the movie becomes about his ambitions to date her, which she does. She goes all in for. And then him getting jealous that she does a charity kissing booth. And this insane scene that, again, just highlights my problems with this movie, where he takes her out to dinner and she is wearing a wacky outfit, which she looks great in.
Mm-hmm.
She sells that outfit. Then at dinner, guys send her drinks. He gets uncontrollably jealous again.
Oh, come on, Chris. I mean, I don't think I should have to go home and change just because you're uncomfortable. I'm happy this way.
I'm not.
So what do you want me to do?
Change.
I don't want to.
That she is not going to change for him. And that, like, she didn't wear this dress for him, and she didn't wear this dress for the guys at the bar.
Look, Chris, I didn't wear it for you, and I didn't wear it for them. I wore it for me.
But it's a great moment, and it's a very insightful moment about, like, people and women. But then the movie immediately thereafter goes, no, we do think she should change, and she should change her whole life to be. Patrick Dempsey's the right one.
Right.
This is not a both people start here and need to meet here. This is she's got to go here.
Well, he changes his.
He does
a bit at the end.
He does well, and like she brings him out of his shell, and all of that. But I would argue that she helps him to grow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
But he wants her to change.
Yes, indeed.
And that's a shame. Because, like, what frustrated me about this movie was that it was so close to being a great movie and to being something even on par with, like, Legend of Billie Jean, which is such a great movie about female empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
And it just squanders all of
it. And it has what could have been one of the greatest side characters in movie history.
Yes.
But they mess it up. Gooseflesh,
That's
Stanley,
of course
Stanley.
Gooseflesh, because they say his name, and I think I applauded the movie.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Chris. Chris.
Greetings and salutations, Chris. Chris. I'm Gooseflesh. This is my fiancée, Brandy.
Nice meeting you.
Goose. Again, this is jumping back to that first half hour.
Yep.
Because the dorm that they live in is the crazy people dorm.
The crazy guy dorm.
Right. Which more on that in a minute. But it's the crazy dorm, so she fits right in. She's decorated their dorm room with, like, inflatable palm trees and stuff. There's a party where guys are sitting in a pool that's cereal.
The pool,
yeah,
as we see early in the movie, is her bathtub, which then becomes her fish tank.
Yeah.
Which then becomes a punch bowl.
Hey, Chris, come on in. The punch is perfect.
And then becomes a cereal bowl.
Yeah. But, so there's a bunch of wackos that live here.
Yeah.
There's a couple of punk dudes down the hall. The whole enchilada. Also, incidentally, this dorm room is just a small apartment building.
Yeah. Yep.
But Gooseflesh is sitting out on the lawn with his girlfriend. Who is his girlfriend?
A mannequin.
A mannequin.
Brandy, don't lie to me. I saw you. Oh, you expect me to believe your towel just fell off? Brandy, I could smell his cologne on your neck. Brandy, just shut up and listen to me. If I ever catch you with my roommate again, I'll kill you.
Hi. Welcome to the Hill.
And throughout the movie, here he is with the mannequin getting into arguments with her. Terrific.
Yep.
Terrific. And I immediately was like, this guy's like, is this guy in a whole other movie?
Right. That's what I wanted to see.
Like, is this guy in Mannequin 3? And how great would it have been if the movie had leaned into the wackiness a little bit more?
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, like, you see him and her, and she's like a human now. They don't explain it. Yeah. Like, that's just, he's been on his own thing the whole movie.
Right.
That would have been kind of great.
Yeah, I was hoping I would see like in the background of certain shots, like he's just walking with her hand in hand or something.
But as you point out, like when the movie gets into the serious half of the movie, we find out that he has the mannequin as a way to keep people away.
Chris.
Yeah.
Brandy is my safeguard. You want a beer?
Yeah.
Safeguard? Yeah. She's my protection against the waste products that screw up the educational process for everybody else. She keeps the roommates away.
Yeah, but you don't have any roommates.
Oh, not now, but I have. Sit down. A couple of days every month, guy shows up here, ready to be my buddy, my pal, ready to party, dude. I start making eyes at the doll, and he makes a 50-yard dash for the housing office. Works like a charm every time.
So this was all an act?
Basically.
Like, there's a movie in here that's all about letting your freak flag fly and, like, learning to be your best self.
Yeah.
But then, when it's entering the home stretch, it definitely becomes all about, no, conformity, my friend.
Yeah,
conformity.
It was like they saw Revenge of the Nerds, and they were like, well, instead of the nerds winning, let's make sure that everybody goes normal.
What if at the end of the movie, Lewis is a jock?
Yeah. He's really good at soccer or something.
What if the end of Revenge of the Nerds is the beginning of Revenge of the Nerds 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also this great thing that really does happen like right around the half-hour mark, going back to that idea of this movie as being about being your best self, where like at the very beginning of the movie, when Patrick Dempsey arrives at college and he's having like a lot of what kind of moments, he passes a gay couple.
You still want to be with me this semester?
Excuse me. I'm looking for the housing office. Would you know where that is?
Oh, yeah, it's just through the archway there. Just take a left and then a right.
Take a right.
No, you take a left and then a right.
Right? Take a right, Noah.
No, you take a left and right, otherwise it's going to go swimming.
And they're having a relationship conversation, and they don't linger on it. And it was like enough to be like, did that just happen? Is that a thing?
Well, it's college.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, because they don't put a hat on it.
Right.
Because he doesn't go, what?
It's college in Los Angeles is how he explains it.
Yeah, and then a half hour later, he and Helen Slater pass that same couple. And he's like, what's up with that? And she's like,
all I want is a commitment.
Hi, girl.
Ridiculous.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Alex. You know them?
Only on a first name basis.
I don't know how you can talk to them. I never know what to say.
Why not?
I just don't understand them.
You don't have to understand everything. I mean, I think it's great when two people who need each other find each other. Don't you?
And I was like, bravo, movie. Bravo. Where is this weird progressive stance coming from in '89?
And again, then they just throw it all away.
Oh, then they just throw it all away with this crazy scene where he's pretending to be gay to get rid of another roommate.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Lucky you.
I have a real issue with the lead up to the end of the movie.
Please.
So, as we're talking about, Mr. Patrick Dempsey is a bit of a nerd.
Oh, he's a super eccentric super nerd who I was not exactly like him in college, but not too far off. He's got a pipe. Loving it.
Very studious.
Mm-hmm.
He's only getting better at school as it goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're getting closer and closer to first semester of freshman year finals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they have, I don't remember what happens, but they have some issues where they can't study for finals.
Yeah.
And then they go to finals.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, we'll get to it, but he's got a broken arm.
Yeah.
And he's so freaked out about it that they devise a plan to cheat on the finals by writing all of the names of people on his cast.
Yeah, they're theater students, so he's written like Anton Chekhov on his like stuff that you would hope that he would just know.
That's exactly my point. he's this big nerd and he doesn't know the most obvious things that they write on that
right.
page.
And they live and breathe theater. Like there's this one of the better moments in it is there's a montage of theater songs that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he clearly knows all this stuff. Why would he need to cheat?
We're both university graduates. Even freshman year, I did not take a lot of finals where I was just going to need to like write down the names of authors or something.
Right.
What are you talking? Like, did he have an essay written on that cast? And I don't know how this is going to help him.
And so then he gets caught.
Right, because he's being super obvious about it.
So he gets caught.
Yeah.
And he goes to the whatever board of the school.
Yeah. Right, they've just finished giving the oral final to Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, exactly.
And now they have to deal with Patrick Dempsey.
And so they're going to just suspend him for one whole semester.
Mm-hmm.
And he cannot handle this. He'll be a whole semester behind.
They're not even suspending him for a semester. They just said, this semester you just did doesn't count.
Do it again.
Yeah.
What?
However, the recommendation was made and approved for probation, which means that you have the option to take the first semester's courses over during the spring semester.
You mean I'll be a semester behind everyone else?
That's right.
That is bullshit. I worked hard in every one of my classes. I don't deserve that kind of punishment.
Sit down, Chris. I'm not through.
Which sounds boring.
Certainly.
You know.
But he'd only get better.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like now, that next semester, and also like it's this movie idea of college, where college is high school. You know, because they're like, well, this semester didn't count. I'm gonna be a semester behind. Number one, who cares?
Yeah, nobody's taking the same.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Number two, you're a freshman. You're just taking like your math requirement, man.
Yeah,
you're gonna be fine.
Like show up in the summer and you're caught up.
Right. And also, just I don't know, if you're worried about it, just take an extra class each semester. You know, instead of doing 14 credits or whatever, do 18 credits and you'll be fine.
Yeah. So I was just disappointed in the conflict that they brought into the situation.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and he does flip out.
Can't handle it.
He goes nuts. And then concocts this crazy scheme whereby he wants Helen Slater to just leave school with him.
Yeah, they're going to go to Chicago. He's going to be a playwright after his freshman year, first semester.
Well, and then I think they change it to New York for some stupid reason.
Now, so this gets to the point of the movie that I'm really confused about.
Okay.
Is this a real story?
No, for sure no.
Okay.
You mean because of the titles at the end?
Yeah.
Well, Animal House isn't a true story.
Hey, man, I'm just asking the question.
I mean, although to be fair, Animal House is based on real events.
See?
You know what? I just owned myself. I don't know. I doubt it for a lot of reasons, but it's that thing, like this is a movie, and what, getting back to what was so frustrating about this movie is this is a movie that's clearly written by like some dude who what he did was he sat down and he was like, I'm going to put my fantasy girl on paper. And he does give her more depth than a lot of these so-called manic pixie dream girls have, just because they do hint at what her actual wants and needs are. But then, so upsettingly, he just doesn't care.
Right.
And the only person the writer cares about is Patrick Dempsey and him living his best life, to the point where now that we are told that they're still together and living in New York, she's a waitress supporting him. And that was never who she was.
Yeah.
And that's so upsetting. And especially because, like, in those parts in the class where she had to act, she could act, man.
How many are holy and absurd? obsequious tear hath dear religious love stolen from mine eye as interest of the dead. Thou art a grave where buried love doth live.
So you feel that Happy Together is bottom half at best
of our ranking list?
Yes.
No, I think it's better than that. Like, here's the thing. While, like, I think that my frustration with the movie overshadows to some degree that there were some really solid moments in it, and that I did overall enjoy watching the movie. It's just that it was so close to being a grand slam, and what I ended up with was like a double.
Yeah, see, I expected it to get serious in the middle. Then I was waiting for like the let up.
Yeah.
At some point near the end, and it just didn't happen.
It doesn't happen because, like, again, like, I mean, this movie's a product of its time, and I can even forgive or ignore the thin writing on the back half of Helen Slater's character, because that's what ends up happening in these movies. But at the same time, since the movie comes so close to doing so right by her, like, that's just what disappointed me about it. But that said, there's still a lot here to enjoy.
I agree. And had Brad Pitt shown back up.
Sure. Had Brad Pitt been like the version of this movie where Patrick Dempsey is her like new best friend, and she has like a fling with Brad Pitt. Like, where he's the version of this movie where he's Cyrano to her dating Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Is a much more fun movie. Maybe
that was the movie.
Maybe. And then Brad Pitt had to leave.
Yeah, they started it. And old Brad had to go shoot Inglourious Bastards, like you mentioned.
Right.
And it ruined it.
That could be.
Ocean's 13 came out.
Right. He had to go do a cameo in Ocean's 8, so they didn't have time.
Is he in Ocean's 8?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I really liked Ocean's 8.
I don't remember if I liked it or not.
Okay. In any event. Yeah, so there's a lot to like here, but it's not at the top of the chart.
Not at the top. Not at the bottom.
If it had maintained the energy of the first half hour, I would say number one with a bullet.
What's number one right now?
It's Made to Order.
Ooh, that's a tough beat.
Right, but right now our number one and our number two is Made to Order and My Chauffeur. And like, this movie, Helen Slater's in that ballpark, except that those movies are about those characters.
Right.
And this movie is about Patrick Dempsey.
Got it. Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So because of that, it gets slid down the list, I think, considerably, but is still, just by the virtue of the kind of movies we watch, a top 10 contender.
What's number 11?
11 is Spooky House.
Oh, yeah, geez.
And this movie's better than Spooky House.
This movie's right there.
It's better than Primo Baby.
Of course.
And that now is when it gets interesting, because now we're at Dolly Dearest, and I'm thinking to myself, is it better than Dolly Dearest? Dolly Dearest was more consistent and successful at what it was trying to be. But this movie has higher highs.
What's above Dolly Dearest?
Cohen and Tate.
That's a good one.
That's another one that's like, this seems like this could be a great movie almost. And then above Cohen and Tate is Dracula, Sovereign of the Damned.
Interesting. That was a good one. I enjoyed that
cartoon. That was fun, right? So that's what, I would say that Happy Together is hovering around Cohen and Tate.
I can agree with that. I wouldn't argue too hard if you put it above or below, but I would put Cohen and Tate as a better movie than.
I'm happy with that.
Than Happy Together.
All right, well, there it is. It's on the list. That's Happy Together. You could do worse. I'd say you should watch it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. You got something better to do?
At least watch the first, half hour, hour. It's fun.
Yeah. Watch it until about the 40-minute mark and then turn it off and dream the rest of the movie.
Yeah, don't feel bad if you can't finish it.
That's right. Don't feel bad.
Because you saw the good part.
That's right. Hey, we'll be back next time with another bad movie.
Bye-bye.